Here we go. Alright. Welcome back to ReZero Anime Review, episode 59. We're here reviewing the 54th episode of the series, Operation Retake City Hall, which is adapted from Book 17, basically the last little bit of Chapter 3, Chapter 4, and most of Chapter 5. If you're curious, how much Chapter 5 is covered this very episode? Basically, almost the entire thing. Yes, if you're curious, how much is left of the book to be adapted? Well, the answer to that is quite simple. That much is left. Oh yeah, they also adapted like the ending of the book, which is interesting. Yeah, a little bit anyway. So here's what happens. So we have Garfield and Mimi about basically running to City Hall because all the commotion thanks to the Archbishop of Lust, this girl, broadcasting, and they come across a big hulking guy who shoots out forearms and a woman with a sword, which of course on a flashback later on that Garfield he actually went to his tiger form and fought the big guy and takes Mimi away, gets to protect her, and basically carries her by little fingers, and of course the female swordswoman decides to slice up her belly, which apparently affected our siblings too. Yes. Because something bad happened to her. And of course, basically, meanwhile, back at basically Resistance HQ, Subaru was there with Anastasia. I think it was Anastasia, Julius. There's a brief scene in this episode of Felt talking to Reinhardt's father, who was Wilhelm's son, who's a massive dick. Oh boy, yes, this guy's like, oh yeah, makes discussor basically to the Astra family line. It's a brief scene. It's basically here. I'm glad they included this episode. So, because it's basically just in the scene you have Anastasia, Subaru. Otto was not here. He's basically someplace. He's someplace. If I remember correctly, I think it's Wilhelm, Crouch. And of course, Crouch comes in, which of course he's a lot more reasonable this time than when last time Subaru saw him. Last time Subaru saw him, he basically threw him out of his office because he dare touch a singer he's a big fan of. Yeah. So, basically, the show basically there's a witch. It's not the Witch of Envy. Based upon the way the witch looks, it looks like the Witch of Gluttony. Based upon her size. Yeah. The Witch of Gluttony, as in the same person who created the White Whale, one feedback in Season 1, and the Crazy Rabbits that were defeated back in the previous season of the show. So, it looks like her. They say it's not the Witch of Envy. They confirm that in this episode. It's not Witch of Envy. They say it is a witch, and she's trapped there. They can't remove because basically it's Violet City. Based on where she looks, it's probably Gluttony. It's probably Daphne. That's probably who that is. They don't say who it is. The book doesn't say either. And of course, Subaru has basically met the Witch of Envy in the previous season of the show. They cut out basically the fact that Beatrice told her basically that Stella is sealed, which of course basically, well, Subaru doesn't mention that. The fact that Beatrice mentioned that, he just knows it. So basically, well, he's resolved basically to fight Regulus, the Archbishop of Greed, to get back Amelia. It's like also he should free people in City Hall. So they come with a plan. Of course, also Felix proceeds to heal Mimi of her wound, but it can't exactly fully close because, well, recognize who it is. So it's kind of not exactly stated this episode, but it's the God of Death who made this wound. Who was the God of Death? It's Wilhelm's late wife who was killed by the white whale years prior to events of the series. That's who it is. And they confirm this a little later on exactly. They don't show her per se, but yeah, that's who the female swordsman is. It's basically Wilhelm's late wife, the famous swordswoman, who basically Reinhard and basically is set to inherit her position as the master swordsman. They confirm that in the book. I only confirm it here because that's who that is here. They don't show her face per se, but they do confirm it not in this book. I believe I think it's either book 18, I think it is. They confirm that actually is basically his late wife, but that's who it is. So then, of course, then we have the group. By the way, Garfield basically is moping against Mimi. So one of Felt's people, who she's close with. So I think actually not Felt's. It's Anastasia's group. So basically, him, Garfield, because the siblings can't go because basically they're protected by safe things. So these two, Subaru, Crouch, Al, the one who works with Priscilla, he has to go off. Let's see. I think that's it. Oh, yeah, and Julius. About 6 people. Of course, they walk to City Hall to basically free the hostages. So they get there. They fight, basically, the 2 people of the witches' cult. We don't know who the big guy is, but we do know, like I said, we do know who the female swordsman is. And then the Archbishop Lust shows up in dragon form. He's like, really? A freaking dragon? Of course, before they get there, there's these weird eggs that are like all over the grounds of City Hall. What the heck these things are? I don't think they actually explain what the heck these things are. It's like they just randomly show up. Yes, they're in the light novel, but it's been a bit since I've read that section. So it's like, oh, you remove me go image of basically a dragon stops talking. Of course, they attack it. Then apparently her head blows up as she regenerates. They say basically ring back basically a generation. So basically Wilhelm, Garfield, and the other guy deal with the 2. While Julius, Crouch, and Subaru go to the roof. Julius goes up, of course. Subaru picks up Crouch, who's basically like, really, Subaru? And of course, he lands on his leg, which was broken. And he's like, of course, uses his whip anyways. Of course, apparently off screen, Julius gave it back. And then, like, they try to go inside. And then the door just blasts off. The hinge is like, what the heck happened? What, did Chewbacca show up this episode? Because I saw this also in The Last Jedi. So, what happened is this. This is quite interesting. So, and then we have the short person with his razor sharp teeth show up. Who is this person? The Archbishop of Gluttony. And Subaru is having flashbacks to Ram. He's like, I really want to kill you for what you did to Rem. He doesn't say the episode. Of course, he said before this, don't say your real name in front of Gluttony because he will eat your name. Yeah. But, great ending. But, we're not there just yet. Post-credit scene. We have Amelia waking up in bed and she's butt naked. And then Regulus basically comes into her room and basically, before he introduces himself, asks her a question. Are you a virgin? Because that's very important. And that's the episode. Great episode. Can't wait for the rest. And yes, I've heard that the first episode has been dubbed. It's kind of because when I get back to watching that. I think I did watch part of season 2 dub. I haven't finished watching it, but actually I did watch season 2 dub. I didn't watch the season yet dub, but great episode. We have overall about 11 more episodes to go that's been confirmed so far for the season, despite the fact that it's still very confusing, because I have heard, like I mentioned in the first review of the season, the first episode, I heard 2 different sources say of what the actual episode count is. The first source says that basically this is going to be a 36 episode season. The second source I heard was going to be 16 episodes, split of course 2 cores. Now, based upon what I've heard, I'm more inclined to the first one be more true than the second one, because basically saying that 16 episodes to cover an entire arc, yeah, that's not a good idea. No, I think it should be longer. But, like I said, overall good episode. and can't wait for the next one. Now, as for what the next episode is, I don't really know because they have not confirmed that at all. Not really, no. But, like I said, great episode. And let me check here about this. Oh yeah, in Japan they released 39 volumes. I've only read the volume 25. No, seriously, 20 frickin' 5. Yeah. So are we like halfway through with this core? It's the whole thing with this one is basically does not make any frickin' sense at all. Not really. No, not really. But yeah, that's particularly a particular view. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications, and do not hit this like button. Well, see you tomorrow for my review for Is Retake Dungeon. Probably in our comic corner. Let's see. Yeah, we'll have time, a little bit of time tomorrow basically to do this. So I'll probably do probably their Doctor Who story. Is Retake Dungeon. I'll try to do a comic corner tomorrow. Okay. Next video. Bye.